Alrighty, today we're going to solve radical equations and rational equations. Radical equations are very, very simple. For instance, if I have the square root of x equals 5, the technique and what we're going to do is we're going to get the radical by itself on one side and then square both sides. Because the square root of x squared is x. Squaring undoes the square root. So if I square the left-hand side, I get x, and of course 5 squared is 25. To clarify, if there's anything on the same side with that radical, I've got to move it to the other side. So I added 5 to both sides, and I end up with the same thing I had over here. Whatever it is, it may not be pretty on the right-hand side. It may not be pretty on the left-hand side. Left-hand side, though, is whatever's underneath that radical comes out from underneath the radical. It's clear. You may have a binomial over here that you may have to end up foiling. And you may have to solve a quadratic equation. So this is perfect timing. So as we get ready to review for the midterm, you will have to remember how to solve a quadratic equation. So factoring or one of those other nice methods that we've learned. So here, square root of x plus 2 squared is x plus 2. 5 squared is 25. Subtract 2 from both sides, and x equals 23. Solving rational equations. Rational equations are the ones that have the variables in the denominator. And you can see right here I've got an x in the denominator here and an x in the denominator here. Written vertically like this, let's change it into writing it horizontal. And you can see I've done that here. 3 over x and 4 over x minus 7. The technique. What's new, I guess, if you want to put it that way. Whenever we have this situation, we have fractions on both sides of the equal sign, we can cross multiply, and that's the technique, cross multiply. So if I'm going to multiply 3 times x minus 7, I have to multiply it by both the x and the negative 7. So 3 times x is 3x, 3 times negative 7 is negative 21, and going this way, 4 times x is 4x. Subtract 3x from both sides, you get x equals negative 21. Here we take these two fractions and write them horizontally and then cross multiply, and that is the technique, cross multiply. So I'm going to multiply x plus 2 times 4, that'll give me 4x plus 8. Multiply 7 times x plus 1, and again multiply by both of the things, 7 times x and 7 times 1 gives you 7x plus 7. Let's change this and let's try and do it on the gut. If I subtract 4x from both sides, I get 3x over here. If I subtract 7 from both sides here, I get x equal to 1. Divide both sides by 3, and I get x equals 1/3. Got any questions? Issues? Anything I need to know? Please post a response, and of course if you've watched it, let me know that you watched it, and if anything was confusing or you needed help on anything.